Good morning and welcome to Wednesday Morning Yoga. This is our gentle yoga class, and we are focusing this week on gentle bends of the upper spine and opening up the heart center with an attitude of possibility. Join me at the mat. Let's take easy seated Tadasana to start our class. I start most of my classes this way because it's a really nice way to get started, to begin to get into our breath and to begin to open up the hips ever so gently. So let's inhale our shoulders up to the ears and exhale, draw them back down. And I would like you to locate what muscles are holding your body in this form. Drawing the crown of your head up to the ceiling, I would like you to experience the lowering of your shoulders as they slide into a position so that your shoulder blades are moving onto the back. And you're creating maximum space between your shoulders and your ears, allowing your neck to be as long as possible. And when we create this kind of space, we contribute to really excellent posture. And we create space for free movement of our internal organs, for free movement of energy up and down the spine, and to reduce any compression along any of our nerve pathways coming off of our spine. Start to inhale and exhale through the nose. And as you breathe in and breathe out, draw your attention inward. Contemplating that we are in the first week of the new year. And what are the possibilities for this new year? A new year with hopefully new solutions to our pandemic, new leaders in office. Perhaps you've set new intentions for your life. Perhaps you have goals that you would like to meet. So I invite you today to approach this practice with a mindset of positivity and possibility, a mindset of expansiveness, of new ideas and perspectives. As you breathe in and you breathe out, focus on lifting up your heart center and expanding your chest with the breath. Let's inhale our hands overhead and exhale our hands out and down. Inhale our hands out and up. Exhale out and down. And let's inhale out and up. And exhale, hands to Ajna, our third eye. Vishura, our throat chakra. And Anahata, the heart. We're going to do a little bit of forward bending to start to open up the back of our hips. So sitting here in easy seated Sukhasana, what you can see in the camera is that I have one foot in front of the other. In my case, that is my right foot, and my left foot is close to my body. I sit up high on a pillow first thing to start because this allows my hips to rotate out in a way that is less effortless and start to open them up. And it allows maximum lift of my heart center so that I can sit up nice and tall and have free movement of my body. I'm going to remove that pillow now and sit down directly on the mat. So sitting on the mat, I'm sitting up nice and tall again. I'm going to inhale my hands up. Create maximum length, drawing the hands up to the ceiling, drawing the shoulders down, drawing the crown up. Take a nice inhale. And then on your exhale, drawing the arm bones back, drawing the shoulder blades together, tilt forward as far as you physically can without changing your form. And when you reach the point where you cannot tilt any further forward without rolling your back down, drop your hands. Inhale. And then on the exhale, draw your elbows into the body as you draw your heart center forward. And continue to draw your heart center down as you draw your shoulders onto your spine, making your body parallel with the mat. And in doing so, we're really focusing on opening up the space on the back of the right hip. If you want to, you can place your elbows on the floor, or you can even have your hands in front of you. It doesn't really change the experience of that as much. You can also take your hands, your blocks. I have 2 half blocks. You can also have your blocks out in front of you and place your hands on top of the block so that your shoulders can continue to expand and continue to keep your back as straight as possible. And just breathe with ease and deeply in this pose. Take one more inhale. Exhale, place your hands on the mat. Rise up and walk your hands back. And let's change the position of our feet. So we're going to take our right foot and place it behind the left foot. Inhale our hands up. And then exhale, draw the shoulders down as we lift up our hands. Draw our arm bones back in the same space and position as our ears. And then on your exhale, lean forward, hinging at the hips, keeping your heart lifted, keeping your upper back lifted. And then when you've gone as far as you can without your sits bones lifting off of the floor and keeping this form, then drop your hands. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale, draw your elbows back towards the body as you draw your heart center forward, creating a nice stretch along the back of your left hip. If you want, you can place your hands on these blocks in front of you and continue to draw the crown and the heart center forward. Take a nice inhale. And then your exhale, rise up, walk your hands back. Inhale your hands up. And then exhale, bring hands to heart center at Anahata. So we are going to move on to the portion where we do our modified Sun Salutations. I like to start off our mornings doing them every time we do this class. It's a really beautiful way to open up our body. So take your blocks and place them on either side of where you're going to be at the top of your mat. I'm turning to the right on the camera. I'm on my round mat, so the top of my mat is the place that's facing the window. So let's find ourselves in a standing position in Tadasana. Place our hands so that they are facing forward. Draw our crown up, draw our heart center up. Make our body as tall as we can as we allow our shoulders to start to float down our back. Drawing the belly button in, allowing space for the tailbone to slightly tuck by creating a micro bend in the knees. Feel all the parts of your body that are engaged to make this opening happen. And then inhale your hands out and up, reaching your hands as high as you can as you draw your shoulders down. Create as much length. Make your body as tall as you can. And then exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands out and up. And then exhale your hands out and down. One more inhale out and up. And then on your exhale, bend your legs, swan dive forward, and allow your hands to drop to the floor, dropping your crown. On your next inhale, place your hands on your shins, draw your shoulders away from your ears, drawing the crown of your head forward. Exhale, descend. Inhale, draw the crown of your head forward, draw your shoulders back. And then exhale, descend. Inhale, reverse swan dive, go all the way back up. And then exhale, bring hands to heart center. Inhale your hands down. Inhale your hands, exhale your hands up. Inhale your hands up. Swan dive forward, grab your blocks. Placing your blocks on either side of your feet. Take your right foot back behind you and drop your knee as we head into our first lunge of the day. So bring your blocks back so that they're in alignment with your shoulders. Inhale your heart center up. Just shine your heart center up. Just focus on lifting up the heart center. You can keep your hips in a neutral position. Exhale, reduce your blocks or continue to lean on your blocks rather. Take your left knee back. Place your blocks down. Keep your hips up high and walk your hands forward in puppy dog pose. Initially, I would like your hips lifted, your belly button brought in against the spine, and reach your hands forward, creating maximum length in the torso, opening up the shoulders. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back, grab your blocks, and take your right foot forward. Again, you can keep your hips neutral. That's totally fine. Inhale your heart center up as you hang on to your blocks. And then on your exhale, place your blocks down, tuck your toes, lift up your left knee, and bring your left foot forward to join the right. Place your hands on your shins. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. And then inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale our hands down. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands to the ground, drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhaling down. Take our blocks and take our left foot back in space. Drop our knee again. Bring our blocks back in position underneath our shoulders. Inhale the heart center up, lifting it up as high as you can. Exhale, take our right knee back. Drop our blocks. Walk our hands forward. Keeping our hips nice and high, drawing the belly button in, drawing the shoulder blades onto the back and hollowing out your armpits. Inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back, take your blocks, and then take your right foot forward. Inhale, lift up your heart center. And then exhale, take your blocks forward, tuck your toes, and lift up your right knee. Right foot forward to join the left. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to the top. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take a nice inhale. Exhale our hands down. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward, hands to the blocks. Drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down and take your right foot back. Drop your knee, bringing your blocks back in alignment with your hips. Inhale your heart center up. If you want, you may move your hips forward to start to open up your right psoas. You can bend your elbows as you're doing this as well. Curling up your upper back, curling it down a little bit as you lift up your heart center. And then on your exhale, drop your blocks. Place your hands on the floor and take your left knee back to join the right. Walk your hands forward, keeping your hips high in puppy dog pose. You may feel an opening now. I'm starting to feel my body is more open, so I can actually allow my forehead to touch the mat, and I can feel my shoulders opening. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, rise up. Take your blocks, and then bring your right foot forward. Inhale your heart center up. As you curl your upper back, perhaps move your hips forward to open up that left hip. Take a nice inhale. And then on your exhale, move your blocks forward, tuck your toes, lift up your left knee, bring left foot forward to join the right. Inhale into a flat spine and then exhale down. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale our hands down. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands to the mat, flop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Take your blocks. Left foot behind you, dropping your knee. Inhale your heart center up, perhaps moving your hips forward as you curl your upper back. Exhale, take your right knee back to join the left, drop your blocks, and walk your hands forward in that puppy dog pose. Take an inhale. Exhale, rise up. Taking your blocks, bring your left foot forward. Inhale your heart center up, opening up the right hip. And then exhale. Lift your knee, bring your right foot forward to join the left. Inhale into a flat spine and exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more of those. Inhale. Exhale our hands down. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands to the floor, drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down and take your blocks. Take your right foot back and drop your knee. Now, if you want, you can raise your hands or you can keep them on the blocks. So inhale if you want, hands up, moving your hips forward. Slight curl of the upper spine as you lift up your heart center. Exhale, circle your hands down. Taking your left knee back to join the right and walking your hands forward. Take a nice inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift up. Take your right foot forward. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, moving the hips forward as you lift up your heart center and create a curl of the upper back. Exhale, circle your hands down. Take your blocks. Lift up your left knee, left foot to join the right. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands to the floor, drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Take the blocks. Take your left foot back in space. Inhale, lift up your hands. Exhale, move your hips forward as you lift up your heart center. Exhale, circle the hands down. Take your right knee back to join the left and walk your hands forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. Take your left foot forward. Inhale, rise your hands up. Exhale, move the hips forward as you lift up your heart center and curl your upper back. Exhale, bring your hands down to the blocks. Lift up your right knee. Bring right foot to join the left. Exhale down. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down again. And then inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Yay! So now we're going to move on to more heart opening poses, but we're going to use the floor to support us as we move through those poses. So let's find ourselves on the front of our mat, or turning, so it'll be my slide, but I'm going to face the camera. And let's go through a series of supported side angle with balanced out with gate pose. So this is a wonderful way to open up the heart and start to stretch out your side waist. And it just is a very nice way to move in space. So place our hands on our hips and take our right foot out to the side. So our toes are pointed forward. Our foot is flat on the floor, but our leg is extended. So you will immediately feel an opening of the inside of your thigh. Take your hands out to the side as in Warrior Two. Take a nice inhale. And then on your exhale, drop your left hand to the floor, right arm to the ceiling. Initially, just lift up the hips, maybe even move them forward. Feel the stretch of all these muscles at the crest of your hip here, all up along your side body. You might even feel a stretch of your hip joint itself. Take a nice inhale, and then exhale, draw your right arm overhead and feel how that changes things. You're still lifted up, lifting up your hips still, pushing them slightly forward, but then by adding this addition of drawing your arm alongside your right ear, you feel a maximum expansion and stretching of the whole right side body. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, draw your right shoulder back just slightly so that we are shining our heart center up a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, draw it back. One more inhale. And then exhale, lift up. Place your right arm on your right leg. Lift your left arm up overhead. Take an inhale. And then on the exhale, curl to the right. Now you feel a different stretch on your left side. Inhale. Exhale, draw the left shoulder back just a little bit. Shine the heart center up, rotating the heart up. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your arms back to Warrior Two. And then exhale, drop your left hand down. Inhale, rise up into Warrior Two arms. Exhale, drop the right arm down, curling the left arm over. Inhale, bring arms to Warrior Two. Drop the left arm. Bring the right arm alongside the ear and overhead. Rise up, inhale. Exhale, drop your right arm, curling to the right. One more inhale, arms to Warrior Two. Drop the left hand. Bring the right arm alongside the right ear as you curl to the left. And then inhale, rise up into Warrior Two, arms dropping your right arm, curling to the right. Inhale, bring your hands to Warrior Two arms, place them on your hips, and bring your right knee back in alignment with the left. Take your left foot out to the side. Lift up the heart center, bring your hands to Warrior Two arms. Take a nice inhale. On your exhale, drop your right hand down, left arm to the ceiling. Initially lift up the hips and push them and move them slightly forward. Draw your left arm alongside your left ear and draw your left shoulder slightly back. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, rise up. Warrior two arms. Inhale. Exhale, drop your left arm. Bring your right arm up alongside your right ear and curl to your left. Notice the differences that you may feel on each side. Draw your right shoulder back just a little bit to expose your heart center. Take another inhale. Exhale, rise up into warrior two arms. Drop your right arm to the ground as you lift up your left arm and draw it alongside your left ear. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop your left hand to your left leg, curling to the left with your right arm. Inhale, rise up into warrior two arms. Drop your right arm, lifting up your left arm and drawing it alongside your ear. Rise up on the inhale. Drop your left hand to your left leg. Bring your right arm up alongside your right ear and curl to the right. Inhale, rise up into warrior two arms. Drop your right arm, left arm to the sky, drawing it alongside your left ear. And then inhale, rise up, left hand to the left leg, curling to the right. And then inhale, rise up. Take your hands to your hips, left knee in, and let's just briefly sit back down. Just creating an early morning stretch of the knees. We're not going to go into hero. That might be a little bit too much of a deep knee bend. But how does this feel? Ask yourself. So my right knee has been talking to me ever since the snow started. I'm not really sure why, because I haven't twisted it. So it's not that kind of pain. I think it's arthritis, actually, because the knee just doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel unstable. It just kind of hurts. Not so painful that it stops me from doing activities, but deep knee bends when I'm in warrior poses or on my knees, they're a little bit sensitive. So if you find being on your knees is difficult in these poses, I urge you to get a nice foam pad. Those gardening pads are perfect. I have some nice thick foam pads that I also can use, but I still feel fine being directly on the mat. Okay, so I'd like you to turn your body now so that your body is, the sides of your body are along or parallel to the long sides of your mat, and your head is facing the short side at the top. What we're going to do is a little bit of upper body curling, laying on our stomachs. So placing your hands, so we're in tabletop right now, rather. So your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Go ahead and take your legs back into plank and drop your knees. Draw your elbows into the ribs, draw your heart center forward, dropping it down in inchworm, chin and chest to the floor, and then inhale, move forward onto your stomach. Leave your hands exactly where they are. Draw your shoulders down and lift up your heart center in low cobra. So keep your hands flat on the floor. Your arms are not engaged in this. Just continue to lift up your heart center in low cobra. Feel all the muscles of your back engage. Exhale down. Inhale, bring your shoulders up to your ears. And as you exhale, draw them down your back and lift up your heart center. Continuing to draw your elbows close to your ribs as you lift up your heart center. Exhale down. Inhale, bring your shoulders up and down. Exhale, lift up your heart center. Take an inhale and exhale down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, draw them back down on the back. And then inhale, lift up your heart center as you draw your elbows into your ribs. Exhale down. Now let's do that with our hands out to the sides. So our elbows are lifted. We have like crab arms. And our hands are tented kind of like spider legs. So inhale, fully exhale. Inhale, lift up the heart center as you draw your shoulders together on your spine into a low cobra with your arms out to the side. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, draw the shoulders down the back as you lift up your heart center into low cobra. Exhale down. Inhale, lift up again. And then exhale, lower down. And then let's place our hands below our shoulders, our elbows rather, in Sphinx Pose. So in Sphinx Pose, what I want you to do is lift up your heart center as you draw your shoulders back, or your elbows back and your shoulders down. And just hold this for a few breaths, feeling the engagement of all of those muscles in the middle of your spine, actually. Feel the heart opening of this pose. Maybe extend your throat, opening up the throat. Take another inhale. And then exhale. Let's turn our right hand into our left hand rather, into our right elbow. So your left arm is parallel with the mat behind you. Bend your right foot or your right knee, bringing your right foot up. Reach behind if you can and grab your right foot with your right hand and lift up in like a half sphinx as you draw your right foot to your right buttock. So there are different ways that you can do this. You can just hold on to your foot with the top of your, with your hand wrapped around the top of your foot. You can swivel your hand on top of your foot as I am and draw it that way. This creates a nice shoulder opening on the right, a heart opener in the front, and starts to stretch out that quadricep. Take a nice inhale, and then exhale. Gently release that. Moving back into Sphinx Pose, turn your right hand toward your left elbow so that your right arm is parallel with the front of your mat. Lift up into that Sphinx, reach behind, bend your left leg, and reach back and grab your right foot. And then start to draw it toward your left buttocks as you lift up your heart center. So you're creating a back bend, a shoulder opening, a heart opening, and you're stretching out your left quadricep at the same time. Take a nice inhale, exhale, take another inhale, and then exhale, drop it down. And then place our hands underneath our shoulders and move back into Child's Pose. Place our toes together, knees far apart, and moving backwards. Feel the opening of your entire back. Let's inhale one more time. Exhale, lift up the heart. Keep your hands forward. Place your left hand in the center in front of your head. Take your right hand and thread it underneath your left arm and lay across your right shoulder, creating a twist and a gentle opening of the back of our right shoulder. You might feel your hips open up a little bit more in this process as well. And just breathe into this sensation. Knowing that doing this beautiful deep breathing is a lovely way to start your day. I so look forward to these classes on Wednesdays. Now that I'm doing Hatha Vinyasa on Tuesday nights, this is a nice counter practice to that experience. And then on Wednesdays, I teach yoga at lunchtime from my colleagues. I teach chair yoga. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale, let's take our right hand forward. Bring our left arm underneath our right arm, threading that needle, laying across our left shoulder, and a twist to the right. Take another nice inhale. And exhale, unravel your twist. Reach out again, creating maximum extension in this child's pose, drawing your heart to the floor, drawing your crown of your head forward, drawing your hands forward. Take a nice inhale, and exhale, walk your hands back. Let's bring our knees together, sitting on top of our heels. Now, if you find this difficult, you can always place something between your heels and your buttocks to just kind of open up the hips a little bit. You can also sit on a block. So this block is a little bit low. Let me double it up so I can show you. You can sit up on your blocks, still have that deep knee bend. So what I want now is to take our arms behind our back. If you can't clasp your hands together, you can just bring your hands down along either side and draw them down your back. But for now, we're clasping the arms, drawing the arms down as we lift up our heart center, straightening out the arms. And I just want you to focus on lifting the heart center. Drawing the shoulders back and down, opening up the chest, stretching all those muscles across the chest, lifting up the heart. Take a nice inhale. And then on your exhale, let's go ahead and do the seal of yoga. Dropping our forehead to the floor, drawing our hands up overhead. And then continue, as your body allows, to lift up your hands towards the ceiling and draw them more back towards the head. Be careful in this pose if you don't have open shoulders. If you aren't able to do this, it's totally okay to just have your hands behind you, like in Superman arms. You're still getting a chest opening that way. Take a nice inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. Whew. I was kind of inverted by doing that because my hips were up on top of the blocks. So I felt a little woohoo, but that's okay. So now let's move into a little bit of opening of the hips before we descend into our final resting pose for the day. So one of my favorite poses is Gomukhasana, which is cow face pose. So to get into cow face pose, we're going to start off kind of in our easy seated posture, right? But take our right foot, wrap it underneath our left hip. Take our left foot and cross it over the top. And what you want to do is lift up your hips and organize them so that you can have your knees stacked on top of one another. And then, to the degree that you're able, you start to inch your shins forward. But what I want more than anything is that both of your sits bones are in firm contact with the floor. So you're going to feel an intense stretch along each of your hips. If you find that you cannot do this pose, you can remain in Sukhasana. But then what I want you to do is inhale your hands up. Exhale, drop, bend your left elbow, drop your hand down your back, and take your right hand behind you and up your back. If your hands are not able to reach, don't worry about that. You can grab your shirt if you want to, or not grab anything and just have your left arm against your back with your palm facing your back and your right arm against your back with the back of your hand against your back. But draw your shoulders back so that they are on your back. Your shoulder blades onto your back. Lift up your head and try to move your head back and face and just keep your body lifted. So feel the heart opening of this. close your eyes maybe and breathe with ease. Take one more breath. Exhale, gently release your arms. And we're going to gently release our legs and change sides. So however you get there is just fine with me. We don't have to be fancy in how we arrive. So taking our right foot and putting it in front of the left. So if you want to just stay in easy seated pose, you can also sit up on a block. If you want to do that, that's totally okay. But I'm going to take the full Gomukhasana. So I'm going to take my left foot and move it underneath my right hip, take my right foot and cross it over my left leg. And then I'm going to lift up my hips so that I can organize my legs so that both of my sits bones are in firm contact with the floor. Then I'm going to start to move my shins forward. So this is a very intense pose. So if you find that you can't move your feet very far forward, that's totally okay. And one side is going to feel different than the other. And in my other presentation of this, my left hip is a more open hip, so you could see that my knees were better stacked. Right now, they're not stacked evenly one on top of the other. And if it was a different time of the day, they probably would be. So part of it is just morning body. So honoring where my body is right now and knowing that my hips are getting an intense stretch just by sitting just like this, I'm going to raise up my arms. I'm going to bend my right elbow and pat my upper back, take my left arm out to the side, down and up, reversing it. And then maybe clasp the hands together, maybe not. I think this morning, that's not my concentration. I don't want to stretch my shoulders too hard. So I'm just resting the back of my left hand against my back and resting my right palm against my upper back. And then drawing my crown up and drawing my heart center up and just focusing on sitting up nice and tall and enjoying this nice heart opening and hip stretching pose. And I'm just breathing with ease. And frankly, it brings a little bit of a smile to my face. Inhale, lift up the heart center. Exhale, unravel the hands. And let's unravel our legs a little bit. So I am going to invite you to take legs up the wall. That seems to be kind of my favorite pose. Alrighty. So turning around, I am facing the wall behind me, walking up to that wall, sitting down. And then however you get your legs up the wall is fine. Now, another option that you have is you can have your legs up on top of a chair, or you can just take Tadasana, whatever is most comfortable to you. I'm going to move my hips towards the wall, trying my way to get comfortable. So this may look a little awkward to start because I like my sit bones right against the wall. And then you can have your legs bent, that's acceptable, or you can slide them all the way up against the wall. Either way, what you want is for your hips to be firmly supported by the floor and by your mat. And if you feel discomfort in any way, you can just bend the legs to reduce some of that. You can move your hips away from the wall and still have your legs extended up the wall. There are different ways that people find comfort in this pose. Wherever you are, now let's start to lower the energy of the body, lower our consciousness. Start to inhale and exhale slowly in and out of the nose. Drawing your attention to the crown chakra, crown of your head. Start to release any tension you may be holding in the top of your head. Allow it to dissolve and dissipate. Drawing your attention to the third eye chakra, ajna, that's the space between your eyebrows. Relax your forehead and your eyes and your cheeks. You're drawing your attention to the throat chakra. Start to relax your mouth, your jaw, your ears, your neck, your collarbones and shoulders. Drawing your attention to the heart chakra. Relax all the muscles across your chest, your ribs. Allow your whole back to just sink into the floor. Take an inhale and draw your attention to the solar plexus chakra. And relax all of your abdominal muscles. Relax your lower back into the floor. Relax all of your back into the floor. Inhale and draw attention to the sacral chakra just below the belly button. Relax your hips, your buttocks, your upper thighs. Your lower belly too. Inhale. And then on your exhale, draw attention to the root chakra, relaxing your legs, your knees, your shins, your ankles and feet. And just lay here, breathing evenly in and out, up to 5 minutes or longer, whatever your preference. But I do urge 5 minutes of stillness, mindfulness, and breathing each day. And as you lay here, revisit what we talked about earlier in the practice. What are the possibilities for the year 2021 for you? What are your intentions? What are the goals you would like to meet? With an attitude of expansion and possibility, when we lead with our heart, we can meet those intentions that we established. So I invite you to embrace this new year with the new changes that may be ahead of us. Enter the new year with hope. Enter the new year knowing that you are resilient, that you are innovative, and that you will find new ways to do things and new things to do. The light in me joins the light in you. The yogi in me honors the yogi in you. Thank you for joining me this morning for Gentle Yoga. I invite you to visit my YouTube channel, Kathleen Combs Yoga. Subscribe so that you can be notified of any new video updates.